first thing to realize about Bloomberg is that we invest in our media businesses, including our web properties, for one primary reason. We want influence. And it's not simply an ego thing for us as a company. It's fundamental to our mission to deliver the most fast-breaking, non-stop news and most accurate and comprehensive data for financial markets of any provider in the world. And it's about having access. It's about having influence with the newsmakers and the people who provide the data around the world. If you can be the source that they rely on, those decision makers, those policy makers, they'll give you more access for your news team and for your data teams. And that becomes a virtuous cycle where we have the best news and data, we sell more products to our financial customers, and we have more money to invest in our media businesses, and it becomes a very virtuous cycle. So that's our raison d'etre at Bloomberg with our media businesses. So with that in mind, we looked at our website and we felt like it could be a more broadly appealing site for business decision makers, for policy makers, than it was in its old incarnation, which was very clearly targeted at a financial professional. So we broadened it. We deliberately redesigned it to be for clearly a broad business news audience. The goal of this design was to be very clean and very efficient for a user. The layout is about a scanning and scrolling experience. It's easy to read, easy to get at a glance senses of the data, of the markets, of all the asset classes. And beyond that, we wanted to enhance our video. So we upgraded our video viewing experience. We made video a prominent part of the overall content mix. And lastly, we made sure that users appreciated that this is a global site. We have global news coverage, global data coverage, and we made it we sent very clear indications to the users that we have that global appeal. So we are setting ourselves up absolutely as a competitor in the overall business news space worldwide. We believe that we should be the first choice for the senior business decision maker when they want news online, on mobile, on television, and we want to reward users across those platforms for being loyal Bloomberg customers.
Tell us about the business model a little bit.
We made a very deliberate choice to focus on an advertising supported and free to access business model. For us, it was critical to drive that influence. So access to the news should be unfettered. Access to our data should be unfettered. And we set that up in deliberate opposition to a lot of what our competitors are doing, who are focusing on paywalls as ways to bolster their legacy business models, which might be struggling in some cases. So that's our business strategy. We expect to take share in this kind of marketplace and gain audience. Since our redesign, we've seen growth of over 30% in unique visitors as measured by ComScore to Bloomberg.com. BusinessWeek.com, our other major web property, has seen similar growth, over 20% audience growth year over year. And together that makes Bloomberg's network of websites the fourth most visited set of sites in the world in business news as measured by ComScore. We feel like the world is recognizing and advertisers are recognizing that we are a major force in business news.
Let's talk a little bit about the advertising. How's that going, and what kind of media is being bought?
Advertisers are giving us credit for being one of the unique places that they can go and reach a very high quality, high-end audience of decision makers at scale globally. It's showing up in our numbers. We've seen revenue growth that is 3.5 times the stated market average in display advertising online, and that's very gratifying for us. We think our advertisers are voting with their budgets and showing that we're performing for them. Our advertising is heavily display oriented. We give very rich, high impact brand environments alongside very high quality content with a very good high-end audience. It's a perfect combination for the kinds of advertisers we reach. We work very closely with the financial services industry. That's our endemic and core group of advertisers. But tech is a huge category for us. Luxury, business travel, and autos are all very, very strong categories for us. We've seen growth across every one of those in the last 2 years.
How many languages is it in?
Bloomberg is in English and Japanese today. We are looking forward to rolling out more languages over the next several years. We are a very global company. A large share of our growth today is coming from emerging markets. Asia and the Middle East in particular have been very strong places for Bloomberg's growth in its core financial services products. So we want to be there in those markets with our media businesses as well. So you will see continued growth from Bloomberg in other languages. We've launched joint ventures recently in India and Turkey that are combinations of television and internet and eventually mobile content deliveries.